Hi everybody, welcome back to my local for a couple of sessions. In this first session, I'm going to be playing with the mani pad, but not the mani pad itself, the edge of the mani pad, and treat it like a curb. I don't do this a lot, but I'm starting to do it more as I pick up some grinds. So I'm waxing it up a lot so that I can actually use it on both ends here. On this side, the first thing I wanted to try that would be new was a backside 5-0, and I got a pretty decent one there. One time I think I locked it in as a salad instead, locking it in on the opposite wheel, on the heel side wheel. And here I've got a couple of 50/50s as well because I wanted to get a long grind down the box. And I also wanted to get a 180 out, and I got a really nice one there. I was really surprised that I could get the 180 all the way around and make it pretty clean like that. And then we're going to that nose grind, backside nose grind that I've been working on for a while. Finally getting a little more comfortable with those. Got one that was kind of clean there. Then I wanted to take it to the other side so I could do front side. And front side 5-0 ended up being more of a battle than I wanted it to be. I don't know what it was about the balance on front side, but I would either scrape my tail really bad and then kind of slip out, or set my wheels down and not hold the 5-0. Sometimes I would get really close, but it was really sketchy. But a lot of them, it was finding that middle point. And it's weird when you're grinding versus doing a manual. It's like you have to kind of push the board through the grind. But there we are. We finally got one that I counted as my landed one that was clean enough. I'm going to take this one. So we've done back 5-0, back nose grind, and now front 5-0 is done. The only thing left to do is front nose grind. That's what I'm afraid of, is I actually commit. Yep, that was what I was afraid of, is that I actually commit to it, but then it bites and sticks and I get pitched off. But it wasn't so bad, I just rolled out of it. This is a tough grind. I don't know how to get the balance dialed in, and like the foot placement. There's a lot of things that I have as questions on front side nose grind. My truck and my nose would either stick or I wouldn't nose grind at all. I started getting a little bit closer at the end where I would get some nose grind, then set my back wheels down or clip my back wheels. Never got a clean one, but it was tons of progress. I mean, just trying this trick is already an achievement in itself. On this one, I constantly had to go back and re-wax. I was waxing my trucks, waxing the curb, everything, just because of the stickiness and the grabbiness of this trick. But we're coming toward the end of my battle with this trick. Got a couple of them, like I said. I never got one clean, but I got the feel a little bit more. Got a couple of them where it did grind, but I just can't get out of it cleanly on the front side. But again, really good progress. And so a couple days later, I'm back at the park. I'm doing my warm-ups like I have been doing lately, where I'm trying to do all the basics. Sometimes at least once. Sometimes I force myself to do it 2 or 3 times each, but that's a lot more tiring. Today, I just wanted to get one of each before I moved on. And a lot of them are pretty good. Like frontside 180 has been happening first try almost every time now, which is great. The flips, you know, they're fickle. Sometimes I can get them first try. Sometimes they take a bunch. Even pop shove it sometimes lately has been either hit or miss. Sometimes I really get the pop shove it and sometimes I don't. So I thought I was going to have a day of doing manuals on the mani pad. Here I did have a nice nose manual with a clean exit, and then I was doing some of my up and downs with a half cab and various nollie shoves, because that's always a good way for me to get started. But then I was kind of frustrated by manuals. They were not locking in exactly the way I wanted to. So after this, I decided I was going to try something different in the skate park. I went to the hip, and after I got this decent ollie, I decided, you know what, maybe the hip feels good today. We're going to try the hip. And then I got that back 180, which is the best one I think I've ever done on a hip. And then I started moving on to other tricks. A half cab there. And then this is a nollie front shove, which I've never done over the hip. And I'm glad I did, because it is fun. And since nollie shoves are my best shoves, I got the nollie front shove. Now let's try just nollie shove. And I got a couple of them. I got one where I got it mostly clean. I think it was that one right there. Nope, there was another one. That was the clean one. And then I was going to try to spin a little bit more than a 180. I wondered if I could do a backside 360, even if I pivoted the second half of it. I never got it, but again, another new thing that I'm trying that I'm glad I even tried at all. And I haven't done this one in a while, but fakie big spin, boy, I'm glad I tried this day. I was getting close right away. It felt really good. And so on this one, here I am, I get one and finally land it. It's a little bit sketchy, so I kept going after some more. But I wanted to continue this run, so I used the quarter pipe and then come back the other direction. And coming at the hip this other way, I was really happy to get a frontside 180 first try. But I want to clean up that fakie big spin, so here we come one more time. Best one I've ever done on the hip. The landing felt so good, it was so clean. Decided to push myself a little bit and try this bump to bar. We'll talk about this bump to bar in the future. It's not my favorite, but I got a board slide on it, so I'm pretty happy. And then I'm going down the ledge hubba combination here. I like this one for backside 50-50s. It's not too high, so I can get on it on the top. And if I lock in the grind, I can just cruise on down. It's really fun. And if I manage to land that, I was coming back at it from the quarter pipe, coming the other direction, come back up the bank to do something. Got a nice little fakie shove there, so doing it in a line. So one more time with the back 50-50 and then coming back at it the other direction, doing things in a line. Got a nice little front 180. And so the bank was going well, and I decided, you know what, let's just stick to the bank and do tricks on the bank. And here's back 180. It's one of my standard tricks to do on a bank. And then this, I think, is front shove, and that was a pretty good one. And then funny thing happens here. Off camera, I slip out and my board shoots out. And then it rolls. And then look at me go, running all the way out. This is one of the downsides of this skate park, is my stuff ends out in the road when you get a shootout like that. I'm always paranoid about when cars go by because I always think they're going to run over my skateboard. But this little bank session was really good, and I got a couple shoves, so I was like, you know what? What if I got all of the shoves on this bank? Is that doable? And so there was regular shove. We're ticking them off. We've got all 8 of them to do. This is switch front shove. Not great, but switch front shove is really hard, even on flat for me. And so there's another attempt at it, maybe a tiny bit better, but I don't know. And then switch shove. That one actually went pretty well, even though that took a bunch of tries. I realized at some point I hadn't done fakie front shove yet, so I had to get this one.
Why is this here?
There's me being stupid and landing my trick, but then running into the hubba. But anyway, then I got farther from the hubba. Got a really good one there. Nice little pop on that. And then I wanted to mess around a little bit more. Fakie big spin went so well earlier. I was like, hey, let's take it to the bank. Boom. Almost right away, I got a fakie big spin, and I was pretty happy with it. And they were feeling really good this day. That was like the trick of the day. Fakie big spin was just clicking. And I cleaned it up, got a little bit of a better one there. So that's the end of today's couple of sessions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.